The story of Zhuangzi and the fish. The late summer sun hung in the sky like a fiery disk, casting its golden light onto a crystal clear river. The trees along the riverbanks whispered in the gentle breeze, creating an atmosphere of tranquility and peace. Beneath the shade of an ancient tree, a master and his student strolled leisurely. The master was none other than Zhuangzi, a renowned Taoist sage celebrated for his profound philosophy and enigmatic wisdom. His student, Huizi, was a sharp thinker, devoted but known for his love of debate and his constant desire to challenge his teacher's intellect. As they neared the riverbank, the refreshing water flowed over smooth rocks, forming ripples that glistened in the sunlight. Beneath the surface, fish swam freely, darting to and fro, occasionally leaping into the air and breaking the calm surface. Zhuangzi's face lit up with delight as he observed the scene, his eyes sparkling with joy. He smiled gently, as if speaking to himself. How happy those fish are! Huizi, overhearing his master's comment, raised an eyebrow in surprise. He turned to Zhuangzi and asked, "Master, you are not a fish. How can you know they're happy?" Zhuangzi didn't respond immediately. Instead, he turned to Huizi, his smile deepening as if he held a secret. Stroking his long beard, his eyes gleaming with an almost mischievous glint, he replied, "You are not me. How do you know that I do not know they're happy?" Huizi, not one to back down, stepped closer to his master, his tone filled with confidence. "Indeed, I am not you, so I can't know what you think. But you are also not a fish. How can you know they are happy?" It seemed as though Huizi had cornered his master with logic. Yet, Zhuangzi remained as calm as the river flowing before them. He gazed at Huizi, then gestured toward the water. "Huizi, your question has already answered itself." Huizi furrowed his brows, puzzled by his teacher's cryptic words. Before he could press further, Zhuangzi spoke again, his voice as soft as the breeze rippling across the water. "I stand here by the river, watching the fish swimming freely in the water. Isn't their joy evident in the way they move? Unrestrained and natural? I don't need to be a fish to see and feel their happiness." Huizi fell silent, contemplating his master's words. His eyes moved from the flowing water to the lively fish and then back to Zhuangzi. His teacher's words were like a thin mist, difficult to grasp yet undeniably profound, compelling him to think deeper. Sensing his student's hesitation, Zhuangzi sat down on the riverbank. He picked up a small pebble and tossed it gently into the water. Ripples spread outward, shimmering in the sunlight like silver circles. He continued, "Huizi, do you know why the fish are happy?" Huizi shook his head. Zhuangzi smiled and said, "Because they are living in accordance with their nature. Fish belong to the water, and as they swim freely, they harmonize with their surroundings. Their joy doesn't come from words or reasoning, it flows naturally from their being." Looking at Huizi, his eyes calm and deep like the river itself, Zhuangzi added, "We humans are no different. When you live true to your nature, free from needless arguments and calculations, you, too, will feel the same joy as those fish." Huizi sat silently. His master's words flowed into his mind like the river's current, washing away rigid thoughts and leaving a strange sense of lightness. Still, Huizi wasn't ready to give up. He sat beside Zhuangzi, his tone now less combative and more reflective. Master, if humans can perceive the joy of other beings, doesn't that mean they are imposing their own thoughts onto them? How can we be certain our perception is accurate? Zhuangzi chuckled, his laughter like the rustling of leaves in the wind, gentle yet resonant. Wheezy, you're always searching for what's right or wrong. But sometimes, the truth doesn't lie in correctness, it lies in feeling. When I stand here by the river and sense the joy of the fish, it's a connection, a harmony between me and the natural world. Only when your heart is unburdened, free from overthinking, can you truly understand the world around you. The fish continued to swim. The water flowed on, and the trees swayed gently in the wind. Time seemed to pause, leaving only the master and his student, sharing a profound moment amidst the simplicity of life. When they finally rose to leave, Wheezy glanced back at the river one more time. This time, his gaze no longer held skepticism or argument. Instead, it reflected a newfound peace. As if he had grasped something vast and intangible, Zhuangzi walked ahead, his figure as serene as the flowing breeze. From a distance, his voice drifted back, light and clear like the sound of water. Wheezy, you don't need to be a fish to understand fish, just as you don't need to be the wind to feel its coolness. Simply live, and let your heart perceive the world. That is enough. Standing by the riverbank, Wheezy watched his master's figure fade into the distance. A soft smile crossed his lips. Deep within, he felt as though he had embarked on a new journey, a journey to learn how to listen to and feel life. Not merely with his mind, but with his heart.